No. That's the thing.
Obviously.
You write the lightning. I'm available.
Yeah, I do guitars, basses. I can do pretty simple work on like violins, which translates to violin, viola, cello, bass, all that shit.
A lawyer would probably say you shouldn't mention that on the pod.
Dude,
Oh.
after I posted that video, it was like, God, that was bad.
What's up?
Dude.
What's up, dude? I was day after drinking shits. Yeah, this podcast is not for children.
So I'm actually really competitive with it.
Ba-boom.
If you want to be fancy, hold your pinky up like this.
Yeah, baby. What'd you do beforehand?
So, most recently, I did we did promo photos for Brace Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we were out in the garage and fucking, practicing actually getting like action shots and shit, and it was really rad. But, it was just weird, like, having Tyler come in and, like, actually, like, camera up in your face and, like, right by you, and it's just like, I haven't done this in, like...
10 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's... it's been a long time. I've played with people more recently than that, but being on stage, it's been pretty close to 10 years.
All right, I'm going to get it started.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Welcome to DysFUNctional Podcast. I have Keagan Smith.
Podcast done.
So, thanks for coming, of course.
Absolutely.
June 24th.
June 24th.
6 p.m. at the Rock.
Yep.
You're playing with Brace Yourself.
I'm playing the show.
Your first show in 10 years. You haven't been in a band or played, really, since then?
So, I've been in a band most recently called Damn Bullets with, I was telling you earlier, Chuck Worthy from Swingin' Utters and Lust Killers. They were, he was pretty big in the... in like the early 2000s, they were like a Warped Tour like headlining band for a little while. I don't know how the fuck he ended up out here, but like
A lot of people have ended up out here because during COVID, it was just cost effective, and then with that paycheck, the stimuli paycheck,
yeah,
I mean, you're well off out here.
exactly. Well, that was kind of one of the things is like I did notice there was an influx of just like a lot of musicians because I think a couple of the guys from King Gizzard live out this way. Another one of the guys from I think Lust Killers actually ended up moving out here. Yeah, like there's just so many people that end up moving out here. I'm like, really? Why here? But it's affordable.
Yeah, I can see that. Plus,
Although it is on the rise, which is a bummer. But
very much so. I should introduce you correctly. Like, this is Keagan Smith, Keagan Co. Guitar Repair.
yes,
Keagan and Co.
I'm thinking of actually rebranding because I'm not doing a lot of repairs lately. I'm doing a lot of modifications. So it might be changing to Palladium Guitar Works.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to spell that, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. If you just go to Steve Duncan's website, they have a pedal called the Palladium. There you go.
Let's just dive into that right away because I do want to talk about the show that's coming up with Brace Yourself, and you got Neverless, you got Winter Haven. Who else you got? I got it written down right here.
CZY.
Oh, Echoes.
Yes, we do have Echoes.
Dude, I'm coming to that show because I want to see Echoes, Nevertheless, you guys. I'm not familiar with CZYK and Winter Haven. I'm not
They're Phoenix-based bands.
Okay. It's a good lineup.
It is a good lineup, actually.
Yeah.
I actually know. I know Corbin because he works at one of the schools down on River, and he actually called me and was like, "Hey."
Who's this?
Corbin, the guitar player of Echoes.
Oh.
I'm not actually playing guitars anymore.
Oh, yeah, because you're okay.
Yeah, so he works at one of the schools around here, and when I was still working at Guitar Center, he called up Guitar Center and was like, "Hey, we're a school, and we have a bunch of guitars that need work," and I was just like, "Well, Guitar Center doesn't offer a bulk sort of thing like that. You'd have to bring them all in. We don't send anybody out." But me being me and having my own thing on the side,
Yeah.
I was like, "Look, I do this personally," and everybody there at the time knew. They were just like, "Yeah, you're free to, have your own like business doing repairs on the side. Not everybody's gonna come to Guitar Center because who the fuck is a Guitar Center for repairs.
I know, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why it was great for me working there, because I really got a lot of people coming in. It was great. But I ended up taking a lot of those people too because, well, I'm great.
Yeah, dude. That's what's amazing is it's like we haven't seen each other for so long.
I know it's been what, like 6.
It has to be, dude. It has to be about that long.
Because I think it was like fresh out of high school last time.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is
I think
true.
I was like 18, 19.
That's why. How old are you now?
I'm 26.
Wow.
Yeah. I think when
Wow.
we met, you were about my age now.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm 31 now.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that sad?
Happy belated like 5, 6, 7 birthdays.
Ain't that sad? 31, dude. I know.
I was,
You're like, I know.
quick side tangent. So when I was working at Guitar Center, I met these really rad dudes. Matt and Roman from Commoner, great band by the way. If you're into like hardcore and shoegaze, they're kind of
Shoegaze. That's a genre.
shoegaze. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's like very like. Are you familiar with the genre dream pop?
I've seen their name before on my Spotify
Yeah,
playlist.
They're great. They're really
Say that genre again.
dream pop or shoegaze.
Shoegaze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're moving into more of like a hardcore, like metalcore kind of thing lately. But they started out as like kind of a shoegazy, very like ambient band with like some pop elements. Great dudes. Anyway, what I'm getting at, they're like really young cats, and we were talking about like how much older I was than them, and I jokingly looked at him and I was just like, look, man, I'm closer to 30 than your age. And I sat there and I was like, oh, God. Oh, God.
It is true. You've always been very mature, man. Like, since even the first time we met. And
That's just how I was sort of raised. I mean, I was always told to go, like, find my own answers for things and, search for what I wanted out of life. But part of it also really kind of helped that I grew up in both Michigan and North Carolina, because especially down in North Carolina, everyone is just like, everybody who is older than you, like when you're a kid, your friends' parents are all Mrs. Tillery or Mr. Drew or
Oh, wow.
like that was how you addressed them, and if you didn't address them like that, they would look at you and almost discipline you even though they weren't your parent.
when you moved out here, did you still have that tendency to do that?
Yes.
Which is good. It's a good thing.
No, it's just a respect thing that I learned out there.
Yeah, there's some people who do yes ma'am, no sir, yes sir.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've been around people like that before. I'm like, I don't wish to have that type of trait, but it is admirable to to have that. Something about it is enduring.
It's one of those things that make you feel a little bit older than you are, and make you look a little bit older.
But it also shows your character when you say, sorry, ma'am, or no, sir, thank you, sir. Like, you're like, oh, this guy has some dignity. You know, he has some, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
because I don't do that. But when I see those people around, I'm like, wow.
So coming into my own, I'm like I kind of ride the line anymore, obviously.
You ride the lightning?
I ride the line. No, I ride the line anymore of just like ultra casual, just he's a dude, she's a dude, everybody's a dude, let's be real.
Well, now-
that's how it is, but like I do, it's reading the room, really.
This is going to be a long pod, I already can tell. I have so many questions for you. No, I do. Like, my mind's just rolling with questions, and we're going to be all over the place.
That's just my life.
Well,
I'm just all over the place.
so, all right. So I didn't know you're from Michigan and Ohio?
Yeah, I grew up in Kalamazoo, right next to the Gibson factory. Actually, everybody I tell, they're like, "Really? So you've been
Interesting.
into guitars your whole life?" I was like, "No, I really didn't really get into guitar until after I moved to Raleigh."
When did you get into guitar? Like, well, how old are you?
I was about 10.
And then what sparked the interest?
So
Do you remember?
I was always really into music as a kid, like listening to like Michael Jackson in the car. Or,
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs, actually, I was like 4. One of my favorite songs was "If You Could Only See" by Tonic, and "How Soon Is Now" by the Smiths. Loved those songs. And there was just sounds in those songs that I was just like, that's really cool. I need to know how that's done. But I was 4.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I didn't care enough to really like start trying to ask my mom like, hey, what's that? I was just too busy looking out the window, like daydreaming.
Yeah.
Thinking about, when am I gonna go home and so I can play with like Lego and stuff. That's
Man, let's pivot from here. Imagine like the kids now who are 4, they're on tablets. They don't have that freedom of boredom, which that sounds a little weird to say, freedom of boredom. That doesn't, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Oh, okay.
Because it makes total sense.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, I see it spelled out and I'm like, you got to think about that. Freedom of boredom?
Yeah, just that phrase sounds weird, but if you dissect it, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
In context.
Yeah, because think about it, when we grew up, like you're 4 years old, you're bored. That's like where all the creative juices come from. And now when you're 4 years old now, your parents give you a tablet. And
yeah, and they're just already connected to like the internet and other shit all the time. It's wild.
I guess it's a 50-50 type of perspective. I guess just recently saw a kid, he's like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
He's making phenomenal beats, like music.
See, I think stuff like that is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, excuse me, that's really the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
We do see it often on like social media and stuff because that's just how media works. They just show you all of like the exceptional things, and you're just like, oh, I'm just an ordinary person.
True.
That sucks.
Well, that's the whole design of pretty much social media platforms,
yeah,
right?
Worst.
Yeah,
it's great, but it's the worst.
So I've tried. I didn't delete. I almost lied right there. So I caught myself almost trying to lie. My original Instagram got deleted by Instagram because my dumbass for about a year I kept illegally streaming UFC fights because in my mind I was like, these are expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I want to share it with people who can afford it.
Right.
So I would live stream it on my Instagram, but I would cover the mic so the algorithm couldn't catch the UFC data, whatever.
Yeah.
And it worked for a year. And then one night, I was watching one of the fights. I got super trashed, of course. Passed out. Woke up and tried to like see what's up on Instagram. Like, let's see, make sure I didn't post anything stupid.
Right.
And I looked and I couldn't get on. I was like, oh, it's a glitch. I reset my phone multiple times and I was like, hey, Jess, can you find my Instagram? She's like, no, I can't find it. So I started panicking. I'm like, wait a minute. I have so many sentimental things on there that I didn't back up.
Yeah.
And then it was gone. And I had to do a new one. And I tried contacting them and, I'm surprised they didn't like lock my phone to re-downloading it. But that's how I lost the Instagram.
Crazy.
No, not really, but not really.
It's not really crazy when you hear the story behind it.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It happened sooner or later, but it was
it was crazy. My mind didn't comprehend that was an option where that could actually happen. In my mind, I was like, a lot of people are watching it because they can't afford it. It's $80 like almost every other weekend. Yeah, and there's good fights, and I was like, people want to watch it.
Yeah.
So I would, do that.
Right, just to help out those who
They want to watch it.
Yeah.
That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Dude, that's probably a lawyer would probably say you shouldn't mention that on the pod because you can get fined for that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna cut it out. What are they gonna come out? I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
So you're planning on changing your is it? So it's just you that works.
Yes.
Yes.
It's solely me.
Would you consider yourself a luthier?
Yes.
Is that how you say that, luthier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually a luthier.
That's amazing, dude.
So,
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I haven't gone to like Roberto Ben or any of the schools or anything, but the thing is I've worked long enough in the field.
How long would you say?
I've been
10 years? More? 10 plus?
More.
You should put that in your bio.
Yeah.
12 plus years of experience.
I've been interested in like working on repairing guitars for at least 14 years.
That's amazing. You should put that in your bio. 14 plus years of experience because that looks amazing for how young you are. You're like, whoa.
Right. I mean, I got my first guitar when I was 9 and changed the strings. I mean, it's just a standard thing. But like after
Not for
how to actually do it, especially on an acoustic to a 9-year-old, it's just like it seems.
Dude,
crazy.
I was 26 and I was paying you to do my guitars. Remember, dude?
Yeah, I know.
Because I just didn't want to do it.
Right. I mean, that's how Jameson is too. Like he's just.
Well, he's so inundated with like all this information.
Stuff,
like like that dude's I mean, when it comes to like when I watch Brace Yourself, it's just the photography's on point, the marketing's on point, the music videos is on point, the color grading on the photography is on point. Everything's on point.
Yeah.
It just all you need is the music.
Exactly.
Like you need more music. That's it.
We're
And then you're
working on.
yeah, and then you have the whole thing. You have the stage lighting all synced up.
Yep.
Everything's good to go.
Yeah.
You just need the fucking music.
It's insane what Brace Yourself is actually doing. Like before I had even joined,
I know. Yeah.
I told Jameson this when I first met him too. You know, and I mean no shade by like any of this.
No what?
I mean no shade when I.
Oh, no shade.
Yeah, when I told him, I was just like, "What you're doing is super super cool." But it was something he had heard already that I wasn't a fan of their current vocalist at the time.
Oh,
But the
that
thing
guy,
was,
yeah.
is he's a great vocalist.
Great-
Xander is
Great,
great.
storage. Great storage. He has great stage presence.
Yeah,
He's great.
Yeah, no, Xander's
Yeah.
awesome. I think he's a really rad dude. But I don't think he meshed with the music. Jameson writes, you know, heavier music, and then he brought me on, and now we're probably gonna. I'm trying to get everybody to.
They will.
Really
They have
like,
gradually got like anybody else.
Yeah.
You gradually get heavier just with
You either
time.
get heavier, or you just change in a good way.
So what's the singer's name?
It was Xander before.
Xander.
Mason.
That's the ginger, right?
Yeah.
That guy. Okay, so we're talking about the same person.
Yeah,
Can I
he's
ask?
rad.
Can I ask why did he leave the band or depart?
There was just some internal conflict.
Okay.
That, you know, just led to.
I hope he finds another band and gets in it because he's a badass stage presence,
Oh yeah, no, I think
confident as F,
seriously.
which is so cool.
Yeah. No, there was just some internal conflict.
Dude,
That's all it is at the end of the day.
I'm gonna post it in once I start releasing this podcast. I'm gonna release some of the songs from the second album of Elysian when I have Tiago on, and we're gonna break it down like how it was. And then I'm also gonna release. I have this timeline video of when I first started Elysian
Yeah.
to the end. It's not the well, technically to the last lineup, and the amount of lineup changes I've had over the course of years. Many lineup changes.
Dude, you know who I actually met somewhat recently that mentioned he was also part of Elysian?
Can I guess? It's a guy.
Yeah. Do you want another hint?
Is it? I want to make it hard as possible. So it's a guy. That's already easy. No, it's not easy.
I mean,
So somebody you may have come across that you didn't know before, Alex Barra.
yeah.
What's
Right
up?
on, dude.
What's up, dude? I was gonna say Tyler. I was thinking, I was like, I'm gonna say Alex.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Alex. No, I became pretty good friends with him because so I am also the official tech for Wormhaven.
Which he's no longer part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is that after they had split with him, I actually tried out for vocals.
Whoa, that's some balls on you, dude. Because that guy got some talent, dude.
Dude, yeah.
He's great.
The first time I had heard like the Wormhaven stuff, I was like, "This is sick." It was like more recently, it was those two guys. Like I had known them.
The guitar player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's bald guy.
Yeah. Nick.
Yeah.
He's such a good dude. Love that guy. I actually need to text him see if he's available after this because I'm going to pick up some shirts from him. I'm gonna be wearing the shirts probably on stage, but.
You gotta when I had my website, you saw that all that merch I had.
Yeah, do you still have some?
I got a little bit. Yeah, all the good stuff is gone, but I have some stuff. I mean, what size are you? Like a large?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I have it in the shed out there. But do you see the designs, man?
I don't think I've seen the most recent ones.
No, I haven't had any. I haven't had any since COVID.
Oh, okay.
But they weren't. Now that I'm older now and I'm more self-aware, a lot of the designs, I was straying away from the typical metal stuff. I was getting custom designed T-shirts, like half and half, like white and black.
Yeah.
Like my shit I was getting like how high quality stuff because I didn't want to. You go to which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want. I wanted to try something different and be different. Like I'll show you some shirts later on.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna wear one today actually.
I was thinking about actually wearing some kind of band T-shirt.
I hope I have the one that will look sick on you. It's. I'll just show you after the pod.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue on with the Nick.
I was gonna say we are shooting music video, so if you've got any shirts, I'll probably wear a leasing shirt for the music video.
Well, I think you will look really cool, and there's a black and red one. It's beautiful, but it doesn't look like a metal shirt. It looks like a rich person shirt. That's why I did it that way.
Okay.
So in the shirt it's black,
Yeah.
a red stripe, but it's the fabric. It's
Okay.
not printed.
Yeah.
And then it's in cursive EYN.
Nice.
But it looks like a fancy T-shirt, but it's a metal. And then the back. Oh, I gotta show you, man.
Yeah.
You would look cool with it
Exciting.
because that color would be good on your skin color. You got to think about those stuff, man. Like,
yeah, no, it's one of those things.
I do think about that stuff. It's pretty weird. Sometimes people. One time when I got out of prison and I was in the halfway house, this one guy told me, he's like, "Hey, you're a metrosexual, aren't you?" And I was like, "What the fuck you tell me?" And 'cause I never heard of that word before.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck you tell me?" He's like, "What?" Because it was a gay guy. And remember, I'm in the halfway house after prison. I just didn't want to get categorized as gay. And whatever. Like, look at me, dude. And I could pass as gay.
Dude, you're a good looking dude.
And but he told me he's like, "Hey, you're a metro." That's a weird question to ask somebody though, huh? Hey, are you a metrosexual?
Straight away.
Yeah, and I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck you call me?" And then he told me what it was, and then literally how dumb I was. I went back to my little bunk and I went on the dictionary and looked it up, and I think the definition said a well manicured man.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the hang?"
I mean, the whole I didn't even fully realize it, but with Brace Yourself, like their whole color aesthetic is like white, black, and red.
White, black, and red.
But I was made aware of this recently, by Jameson saying yeah, that's our aesthetic. But I've always thought of them even before I had really realized what the aesthetic was. I always thought Brace Yourself is just red and at least red and black.
Really?
Yeah,
When I think of Brace
weird.
Yourself, I think of this unique type of blue and magenta.
Interesting.
Magenta, like that weird pink, hot pink, purple, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think there's not everybody has it, but I feel like everybody has some kind of synesthetic sort of thing where they
Ooh,
associate
I never heard of that word. Synesthetic?
synesthetic. So synesthesia is associating a color with a letter or a number or a musical note. For some people,
Oh, wow.
the musical note C is
Yellow?
green. Yeah, or yellow.
Mine's yellow, yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, it's yellow.
See, when I think C, I usually probably think of black or purple.
Really?
It depends on the day. So it's just because it can change
Oh.
for me. That's how I know I don't have synesthesia. Because with people that do, it's an absolute the number 3 is yellow. The letter A is blue,
What's number 3 for you right now?
yellow.
Interesting. What's number 3 for you? No, imagine. And there's wait, did the podcast pause?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I got to pee so bad. I've tried. Well, because I worked out and I'm chugging all these electrolytes.
Yeah.
Plus, because of the dads, the day after drinking shits.
Yep.
Yeah, this podcast is not for children.
Even though it says fun in the title.
Yeah, did you? Once again, man, I'm always surprised when people are accepting to come over because it is a far drive.
I mean, I'm driving up this way at least once a week as it is.
Still, though, in this type of in this age era, whatever, it's hard to get people to leave their house.
Yeah, it's weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know with the pandemic, everybody's really, they really don't want to leave their house anymore. They got comfortable and all that. But I mean, I know I'm part of a younger generation. I think technically I am part of Gen Z, but I still grew up in a way that it was just go outside, go do something.
Yeah.
Go explore, have fun, go meet people, go do things. And I'm yeah, I like staying in my house as much as the next person, but it's just I want to go out. I want to go do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm be cooped up all day.
Same.
I've been working on guitars the last 3 days, and I'm I've been in the house for hours. I feel like I've done nothing.
How are you getting all this clientele? You have a lot of diverse
Yeah, so a lot of it's just local guys that have heard about me through
word of mouth.
Yeah.
That means that's perfect proof that how good you are. That's perfect proof. You don't need to market, word of mouth.
See, and that's the thing is I slowed down on the Instagram page for a little bit, partially just because I was actually running out of content that I had banked up, and I wasn't getting any work for a while. But that was just because it was kind of a slow season. It was a slow season.
There's slow seasons for guitar work.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah,
When?
It sounds bizarre.
It
but
does.
yes, it is.
All the time. It's
You'd think there's always people that need work. Excuse me, and there is usually.
Yes, the caffeine.
No,
Yeah.
not even the caffeine.
Oh.
Carbonation. No, there is.
When's the slow season?
It's
When?
usually start of summer is right when it starts to pick up. But in that springtime.
Makes sense because the shows start to ramp up during the summer.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And then right in like fall time, it's still pretty busy because you've got all the kids that need their instruments done, or you've still got like late fall shows and stuff. Wintertime, not super busy, at least up until after Christmas.
You know what's interesting? When Christmas comes around, or before, like let's say the beginning of December, you should start promoting like crazy Christmas deals because it'd be a great gift. Well, it's actually hard to get somebody's guitar repaired.
It is
without them noticing it.
Exactly.
So it can't be a surprise.
It's such a hard thing to market.
Yeah, you're right.
Because so many people just continue to play. You know, most people are just players. My biggest appeal to most markets are honestly like veteran players who like want like the most high performance shit. I mean, that's me. Like I play like really affordable guitars. I love them. They're great.
But not no more. Now you're playing June 24th at the Rock at 6 p.m. Guys, brace yourself. Nevertheless. Help me out.
CZYK.
CZYK, Winter Haven, Echoes.
Yeah.
June 24th at the Rock.
Yeah, come see us. Go buy tickets.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. So
Yeah, it's going to be a sick show.
I bet it is. I'm excited. I rarely go to shows anymore, man, because I live so far and I'm so focused in like working on my second album, the podcast, this new house. You know, I got to do the yard. I got to, we've only been here for a year and I want to soup it up. I want to, make it awesome, make it a home.
Right. That's sort of how I am right now too. Like I'm doing so much, trying to build like my actual personal business, and now I'm actually like trying to actually get into full swing with the guys at Brace Yourself. Because I mean, I've only been part of it for like a month, and
I know.
I'm already instilled
Kicking
really well in
ass.
there.
You're kicking ass, man. Social media wise, like you can tell you're very. Hey, I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Yep,
You can go and talk about. I do want to know about like when COVID began. Like how did it like change you? How did it evolve you? Like you during the beginning, the end, like beginning, middle, and end. Like at the end of it.
Okay, yeah, COVID was actually a really interesting time for me. So at the start of it,
Can you hear that to the mic? Sorry.
I can't hear you. But,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. At the start of COVID, actually, pardon me.
Is there like carbonation hitting you?
No, I took another drink.
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend and I had just moved into a house that we're renting, and we're still in the same place, which is great. And we actually got in there right before the housing market just fucking popped off. So we're paying a really good rent price for how much space we have. It's fucking great. And we just started moving in, but we were also like having just growing pains because we've been together now for almost 9 years.
Oh, it's funny. Me and Jess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna be going to 10 in a couple months.
Nice. So yeah, she and I's relationship is gonna be 9 in July. But when we first got this house, we were going through a few growing pains just from moving all the time and still trying to figure out who we were because that was like 4 years ago still. And I mean, 21 to like 26, it's like there's still a lot of changes that happen there.
Dude, we've been together since I was 21, she was 23.
Oh, crazy.
I'm 31, she's 33.
Yeah,
That's like like some of the most important years of your life.
Yeah, no, like your whole 20s is just there's a lot of shit.
But it's great because like when we hang out and we talk and we look at our photos, we're like, look at us and look at the things we've been. It's so like, remember this, remember that. Like so, it's like makes the relationship way more better.
Exactly.
Ah,
that's really how we continue on. But we were going through some growing pains. She wanted certain things that I didn't want, but we still wanted each other.
Oh wow.
So, but it was kind of in the background. It wasn't really like a forefront issue. I was working for a company called Overtone at the time, and it was a color conditioner company, and it was great. But I was like at home all the time when COVID hit because I was actually able to work from home, and it was great. But she would come home. She was working at Fry's as a bakery manager for a few years.
Yummy.
Yeah, it was great. except it wasn't.
I know.
Because
Yeah.
she was managing so many people and they would never show up. Or
Oh,
they wouldn't
I thought you were
actually
gonna
do their
say
thing.
I thought you were gonna say this. I thought you said because I got all the pastries, I gained weight. I thought you were gonna say that.
Oh no, I didn't gain weight because she worked there. I gained weight because I worked at Overtone. It was a desk job.
Oh wow, that's so. But flip flop because you would think the pastry job, right?
you'd
You would
think.
eat. I mean, I would eat all the cheesecake and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. You'd think, but no. Like
Oh.
she was working at Fry's, so it's just like it's not like really got much of a discount on shit like that.
Oh, I thought it was free. Oh,
No. So it's like that didn't matter. It didn't matter what I was doing. It was because I was working at this desk job at Overtone that like I would just constantly like get lunches here and there. People would pay me like to get them food, and I would go with myself.
you look the same.
See, I'm glad to hear you say that. From the last time I had seen you, I looked the same. That's great.
Yeah, you look like you look the same when you were like after high school.
God.
Only, dude, look at this. Look at this hair. Zoom in on the hair. This is wild. That's like legit boy band hair.
I mean, that's kind of my thing. It's just like,
What?
I mean,
I-
dude.
Yeah, that's my
I will
thing.
be driving down the road full blast, mostly because
Hair.
Yeah, exactly. Windows open if I've got them. Full blast. I'll just be jamming out to like Backstreet Boys and.
Oh, dude,
That's my jam.
do we crank and sync, dude? Oh, I gotta show you. She has the dolls.
No
I
way.
bought it for her birthday. The whole set. The
Oh, dude,
from the
that's-
music video
That's so
for her
sick.
birthday. Yeah, I'll show you when we're done
Yeah,
with this.
no, I love this.
But let's stay on track with how COVID. You guys are going through some difficulties in the beginning at job, and then
So because I was working at home all the time, and she would come home like really, frustrated with her subordinates not actually fucking pulling their weight, and whatnot, and her having to pick up all the slack. We would be fighting a lot because she would come home. I would be the first person that like she could just kind of unload on.
did you unload on her?
No, actually, I mean, you know me. I'm not a. I don't get angry.
Dude, unload on her. It's a sexual term.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, but you just
I'm just
okay.
gonna
Yeah.
rush that
But
full circle.
you're not an angry person.
No, I'm really not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll get frustrated and I'll occasionally like raise my voice here and there, but like I'm really like ego aside, I'm probably one of the easiest going motherfuckers.
Do you even have an ego? That's the thing. That's how. Do you know what I mean? Like you're so. Not what do they say? Not to toot your horn or whatever.
Yeah, not to toot my own horn. I mean,
No.
I did say how great I was earlier because
I don't think you have an ego, man. I think you're really
I try
well.
not to be.
You're really well calibrated.
I try not to have an ego at all. I mean, it's funny too because I was actually the lead singer of a punk rock band for a little bit.
Dude, we got to get you on some features when you brace yourself long enough. We got to get you on some features, some either primary vocals or backup vocals or both, depending on the song.
Right. When we run this, I'll actually show you the Wormhaven demo tape that I did.
Well, vocals?
Yeah, I actually have a track.
Do
with
you
me on
can?
it.
Would you mind? Would you want to impose it? Are you that confident in it?
Sure.
Should we impose it on this video?
I mean, if you want to. I mean, it's not anything that's going to ever be released, but it's
Yeah.
something that because they have Steve from By the Gods now.
Okay, so let's Oh yeah, Steven Namek or
Yeah, Steve Neymark.
Namek. Well, it's
Yeah.
Namek because Dragon Ball Z,
Of course.
and I can't say his last name, but so it's Namek, which is awesome. But so during the video, I'm gonna impose that song that you're doing a vocal tryout for Warm Haven.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Warm Haven. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Doing
Dude,
that.
I mean, if you don't mind, if you haven't listened to my solo album, listen to it and maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been meaning to actually listen to it because I remember you releasing it. I'm like, okay, great, and I have it saved. And I just
I know, I get it, but it's not a big deal. But
say
the strategy before releasing that album, I contacted several people that I wanted to sing on it,
I remember that.
several, and The only person that got back to me was Stefan Garcia, which I'm gonna have on. He's a filmmaker. That's the guy you should have. That's the guy you should have for your to film your music video. I'm gonna show you his content. He's amazing. But back to the point. Yeah, well, no, but what's fun about being in a band is when you go to different filmmakers or directors, you get different stylistic,
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
you want to keep that. You want to work with many people, so you have a diverse
Absolutely.
catalog of
Yeah.
music videos. I totally forgot my point.
Anyway, going back to the
Yeah.
COVID thing. Anyway,
Yes.
so by like the middle or like by like the summer of 2020, she and I had just like gotten so had just so much pent up, I guess, aggression for lack of a better term. Wasn't really
This is
much.
during COVID, you said?
Yeah, this was like
Oh.
July of 2020. It was actually May. So I had just gotten let go from Overtone.
Wow.
For malicious gossip, which was garbage, but okay.
Wow.
We were just unhappy with the way things were being run, and we were talking about it, and we felt like there were some people that were actually being singled out, which shouldn't have been. Anyway, different story, different day. So I had gotten let go, and so I started just like picking up like DoorDash and stuff. Because I had signed up with it. I think right before I started, or right in the middle of when I had started. I mean, that's pretty much what I do to this day now. It's just,
Still?
oh yeah. So whenever I don't have any guitars to work on, and I don't get called into Gabriel's guitars to work on anything there, I'm usually out door dashing and shit.
Would you prefer? I mean, do you think you like it because it gives you a chance to go out and work out in the field, as opposed to because if you're booked for say a whole year, you're so loaded with work. You would prefer that?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, then let's make that. Let's try to make that happen. Now that you would brace yourself, it's just additional content to promote your job.
Right. I mean, it would be great because then it's just constant like things that I'm good at.
And yeah, you like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, fuck, I hate doing that.
Yeah, that's why I was curious. Like, I don't know if you liked it. Like, you like having the separate ones where you have like time you can go leave the house and.
Yeah, and I will say it's nice for that venture. And I mean, like, I'm just driving around town listening to like podcasts or.
Yeah, it's like a break. It's a
music.
break though. It's a break
Yeah,
from.
no, so it's fine doing it, but when it's like your sole source of income, especially when you don't have guitars coming into the shop, you're just like, fuck. Every day it just feels like a grind. You're just alone all the time, and it's after a while it actually starts to kind of get to you. It's
What
weird.
doing the guitar work?
No, door dashing.
Oh, me and her did it during COVID. I worked literally
Dude,
throughout COVID.
That was the time to do it.
Well, yeah,
That was the fucking time to do it because I did it for. I did it working alongside Target too. Fucking, it was good.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we're off track. So back to the whole struggles of the relationship.
Oh yeah, so I left. We had sent me out to Wake Forest for about a month, just so we could be separate for a while.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I literally left for a whole month. I mean, I didn't have a job. I still had at least some money to continue to like pay for stuff and all that. But I went to go see my mom. I hadn't seen her in like 4 years. It's been like another 2 years since I've seen her again. But that's what happens when you live completely across the country. But yeah, I flew out to Wake Forest. Stayed with her for a little while.
How was that?
Oh, it was fucking great.
I bet.
I love.
It's your mom, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my mom, but I also just love the area.
Mom secondary. Mom, you're secondary, but I love the area.
No. It was.
Take a back seat.
Nice. Yeah.
That's
exactly.
no, just
No,
funny.
it was nice. I hadn't seen my brother in years too, and he's
That's
grown up
amazing.
Because when they had left in 2016, I think it was like 2 days before Christmas 2016. I remember my brother being like this tiny little kid. He was actually like 12 or something. I went out there and he's almost as tall as I am, and he's fucking preschool.
During that,
Crazy.
he's not on social media. Like you're
No,
not.
he is.
Your mom's not posting pictures of him.
My mom didn't really post too many pictures of him, but he's got his own social media now. He's actually working towards being more the YouTube gamers and stuff.
How?
It's really cool.
What's the age gap difference?
6.5 years.
Okay, so he's like in his early 20s.
Yeah, he's
21.
He'll be turning 20 this year.
Interesting. It's amazing because when I look at my nephew or like younger kids, my nieces and stuff like that, I'm like, He's just a complete different human being.
Yep.
Just completely different.
Yep. It's wild.
It is.
But yeah, just like that 4.5 year gap from when he was like 12 to 16, I was just like, oh yeah, you changed a lot. And then I saw him, I was just like,
And it's a little weird because, like, right now I'm with my nephew. We visit him, and I'm like, you're just getting more and more mature.
yeah.
And your voice is getting deeper. You're getting taller. He's huge. He's gonna be like 6'4" probably. And I'm just like, well, god dang, because I'm short. So I'm like, damn. But yeah. So what happened? You were gone for a month with your mom.
Yeah, so I was gone, spent some really good quality time with them. She and I like talked throughout the whole thing, and it was just like a different kind of talking. Obviously, because we're separate, we actually have to talk about like what we actually did that day in a little bit more
That's
detail.
great.
Because we didn't actually see each other.
Yeah. And she didn't really know you as an adult. Well, you were what, 24 at that time? 23?
Yeah.
Not an adult, still a kid. In my mind.
Dude, I'm still a kid.
Same.
Sure.
Same. But now that I'm like, oh my god, I'm 31. I gotta like act a little bit, somewhat of like not as much of a child, because sometimes while I'm editing the pod, I gotta take out some stuff because I'm like, what are you acting like?
What are you doing?
You're so childish. I'm like, what the?
Dude, I do that all the time. Like I'll be in the car and I'm one of those weirdos that talks to myself in the car.
I think everybody does that, dude. I think everybody.
Do.
I swear to baby Jesus, they do, dude.
They probably do.
Who doesn't talk to themselves?
I don't know.
Out loud is weird.
Well,
If it's out loud, that's weird.
yeah, exactly. I'm in the car alone. I'm talking out loud.
Oh, that's weird.
It does help me think though. It helps me get ideas and thoughts out. So it is weird though.
Damn, we got to keep on track on this, huh? So what happened after you left your mom's? The whole month you were there. You came back.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a sort of reset for me. It went and it was it was quiet. Didn't really do anything. Came back. We both kind of realigned with one another, and we were like, all right, this is what we want for our life with one another.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, we've never had that conversation, dude.
It's crazy. So, we were talking about like future plans. Like, are we actually going to ever get married? Are we actually going to have children and whatnot?
Wow.
I don't know if I can have biological children, but
Why not?
so
You have no nads?
no, I do. But
Oh.
they actually don't function totally properly.
Oh, that's.
I was diagnosed with low T at 21.
Are you getting that fixed right now?
I'm actually taking steps to force myself into actually exercising properly.
Oh, you're trying to get the basics, the fundamentals out of the way.
Yeah, because that was part of it. Is like I had stopped skateboarding as much because I moved out here. And
You saw I have so many skateboards all over the
that.
place, dude.
Yeah, I was just like, oh shit.
Dude, I sometimes still have dreams because I skated for like 7 years, like street
Yeah.
skate. So that there's some once in a while I have a dream and like a flinch in my like I'm doing a kickflip or varial or some ollie and and I'm like, oh god dang it, and I go back to bed.
Dude, I do that too. Like even if I'm in the car, like to this day, and I just like look out the window and my brain just kind of disconnects. I'm like,
You miss it.
yeah, I just like. Were you ever the kid that like looked out the car window and just like saw some guy like running and doing like parkour over all like the things that like rode past?
No, well, I was raised in Los Angeles, so skateboarding was rare, even though it's Los Angeles.
Which is it's so bizarre.
Yeah, well, maybe when if I saw it, it just didn't register.
Yeah.
And then as far as parkour didn't really exist until I was out here.
Right, but I'm saying like, did you ever like just when you were like 6 or 7, just look out the window and like see all like the buildings and like stuff pass and just imagine like some guy just like running across the roof?
No,
and, like,
no.
Okay.
No.
I know I'm not the only one.
No,
Like,
definitely
I've
not.
heard this before, so
Definitely not. Well, how do you think parkour started? Somebody saw it and they're like, I can bounce.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, is parkour dead?
I think so.
Oh, that's sad. Well, now on the Office thing still goes viral. The parkour.
I know.
That still goes viral.
I mean, I don't see it.
Not to interrupt you again. Turn around. You know, there's been a cat behind you the whole time. Mm-hmm. Oh, you noticed? You noticed that?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you didn't know at all.
Yeah, no, I saw it, like as soon as I came in, like I could find it.
Could I audition for Warmhaven? Oh, dang it. I thought I had a good burp. I thought I had a good burp. Damn it. Every podcast I have a really good burp, and that was a dud. Okay, so we're off track again with the so You guys came. You guys came back. So you came
Yeah,
back
we
and you
came
guys
back,
talked
we talked about like, hey, this is what we want. This is
the serious
what we're
shit.
gonna work towards. I came back and I was like, all right, well, I'm just, at least for me personally, I just came back, got right back into the grind, just DoorDash. Started working at Target.
If you don't mind me prying into the relationship aspect of it, so when you came back and you guys had that serious conversation, did everything just neutralize like after that?
We came to an actual like, excuse me, eye to eye understanding of like, hey, we do want to actually be together, and to actually be together, we have to actually
Communicate.
compromises here and communicate better.
Wow, dude, this is so you're so like mature, dude. It's so wild.
I know everybody, but like I tell these kinds of stories because they're just like, wait, how old are you? I'm like,
It's amazing.
but yeah, so we had that kind of conversation, and we were just like, we've been together for so long. It's one of those things. It's just like we make things work. Like we don't settle, but we actually like if we have a fight, we're like we'll give each other space. I'm one of those people that has a hard time giving space up because I'm like I just want to fix this now. Like,
I'm the
there's an
same.
issue.
Yeah.
We need to squash it.
Same.
But I understand that like she'll need space.
Same. Same. Like we'll have an argument and then I'll be over it within like a minute. I just my mind calculates everything and just puts everything to rest. I'm like, all right, I get it. It's either my fault, your fault. It doesn't matter. Whatever. I don't want to be mad at you anymore. Within like a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm good now. And she's like, still pissed. I'm like, come, get over it. She's like, I gotta get over it. And I'm like, she needs a space. And
exactly.
yeah.
She needs the space, and I know I'm just feeling more fire by like pressing on it. So it's something. That
Did you ever come to my? I don't think you did. We used to live at that little cottage. We had a cottage house. I don't think so. You would have remembered because it was literally like a studio.
No, I didn't.
No.
I remember you moving into it because last time you and I actually like hung out, it was at the apartment over
Yes.
on Alamo.
I remember downstairs.
Yes, it was at.
Yep, I remember.
Apartment. I think I remember you moving to an upstairs unit in that
We
same
did,
complex.
but then you never came over. We did go upstairs. You probably have.
I thought I did once.
Most likely.
Either way, yeah, that was the last time I had. We
That's
had actually hung out.
so weird. Like,
that was forever ago.
yeah, it's so. So that's I always edit this out the pod because it does become a little bit repetitive. But that's the point of the podcast for me. It's because I just want to bring people over to my house. I finally have a home, and then also it gives us a reason to get to know somebody. Like for example, I've been in the scene. Well, I was in the scene for so long. I don't really actually know these people. They're just people I've been in passing. I don't know the way they think of the world, where they're from,
like who they
really are.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing this for monetary reasons, but I know I'm gonna get. I know how to do it.
Yeah,
but it's not for that.
Probably going to be some kind
I can get if I wanted to. I can just to pay for the gear and to upgrade and whatnot.
Right.
But
sponsorships, baby.
I can get that easily. I know I can. I just got to be consistent. But for me, that's what's fun about this is to finally. We would never have had this. I would never have the balls or courage to ask you to.
About all this kind of.
It's something about the headphones and the microphones and the cameras and the lighting that sort of lets you express yourself a little bit differently than when you're in person.
Isn't that so weird how a normal conversation like this would have totally normally happened like
Maybe
20 years ago?
Maybe, but we hung out before and we never had these type of conversations.
Well, that's what I mean though. It's just like this kind of conversation like maybe 20 years ago, pretty normal.
Yeah, at the bar.
Yeah, exactly. But like technology has made it in a weird way that like we're broadcasting it now that it's just like it seems so foreign yet beyond so familiar.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
it's weird.
That'd be a great song title.
Foreign but familiar.
Yeah, that's amazing song title.
Foreign familiarity.
Ooh, I have on my phone. I have like notes of album titles, song topics. Like
That's good.
that one, I'm gonna write down when I'm editing it.
That's
So.
I could be trying that track.
Well, listen to the album, and this next album is not going to sound. Alex Bada was actually supposed to sing on round one. It just.
Oh really?
Yeah, dude. It's like I said, it's really difficult to get people to stick true to their words because there's so many distractions now.
So that's actually something that I've noticed with most cats from around the Tucson area that are part of the music scene. And I had noticed it partially because I had worked with Chuck for so long.
Mm-hmm.
he and I started the band Damn Bullets a while back, which I don't think is still a thing. We haven't really done much with it since January. Um, but like everybody that we had, he was from San Francisco. Our drummer JJ was from Puerto Rico. Our bass player Brian, I don't remember where he's actually from, but he's worked with Stephen Egerton from the Descendants. He's actually his go-to bass player.
I don't know who that band is.
The Descendants?
No, I could have just said, I could have just stayed quiet and pretend I did. I had no idea. Do you know so much? A lot of the bands you're talking about, I'm like so
No, it's fair. It's a lot of like, at least with that project, it was a lot of like
diversity.
rock bands. Yeah, there was a lot of diversity because I come from what is initially a pop background that turned into a metal background, which still has a lot of like.
Well, it was blues first. It went. You skipped. You went bluesy for a long time. You wanted to be
Yeah.
like a southern. Like, well, it's like blues, pentatonics. Like,
Yeah, and it's the Zach Wild thing. Nobody's doing that anymore still. So I'm just.
I can't. I hate it, dude. Because I was that person for so long when I was a teenager
I'm kind of the same way.
that I just literally outgrew it. You know, now I just more typical guy now where I'm like, I'm into like, I can't even say his name, Tosi.
Toast Navasi.
Like I love his shit. I love anything that's unique. Like what is that guy with the tattoo? The Asian dude with the
Oh, Tim Henson. Polyphia. Dude,
Yeah.
the guys in Polyphia are insane.
I know, but see now that's my thing now. Like
Same.
I can't when I hear like so see like Joe Bonamassa, right?
Not interested.
Okay, but it's all pentatonics.
It is.
So,
It is.
but if there's some people that can manipulate pentatonic scales in the right way, where I do become intrigued, but that's a rarity.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's kind of the thing. Is like even the guys in Polyphia are actually still doing. There's certain runs that are very pentatonic-y.
of course,
I was playing a Joe Satriani song, just like testing out a guitar once, and some guy was just like, "Dude, that's a really sick like Polyphia riff. Which song?" Is
Oh,
that from?"
shit.
I was just like, "What do you mean? This is Joe Satriani."
whoa!
And I was just like, "Okay, good to know that there's still some sort of like."
There'll always be.
Yeah,
There will
there'll
always
be
be.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Dude, my whole foundation is pentatonic scales.
Yeah,
It
that's
just,
most rock and roll players.
dude, when you hear the album, that whole thing is my foundation of pentatonic scales. You don't notice it because I've been doing it for so long
Right.
that I've learned to just incorporate stylistic phrases that you don't even know I'm playing, what scale I'm playing, because I'm all over the place because I've been playing for so long.
Right.
But see, now I'm stroking my own ego where like that's the example of somebody whose foundation is very low as far as education wise with theory, but it's pentatonic skills, but you can't even tell.
Yeah.
So it's
See, at the end of the day, like,
the fuck?
who cares about one music theory? You know, that's just names given
I
to
know.
things to explain them to other musicians.
I do wish I had the learning capabilities to, cause I would love to know like the circle of fifths. I would love to know that stuff. It just my brain just does this. It just doesn't. I try learning and it just doesn't care. Like for example, this is embarrassing too. But just the way my brain works. I don't know any of the streets here. I just know everything by like just
by feel. Basically.
no like not photograph from memory, but just like the blocks and I remember this store there or like I know everything.
No, that's totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's totally normal. There are tons of people. Probably half the population is like that.
Yeah, but like
You either know the street names and how to get there. Like
I've been here for so long though. Shouldn't I have known them?
No.
I know Speedway, Broadway, Grant,
I was gonna say, but
Oracle,
you were,
River.
You were in that area for a little while longer than you were up here.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't.
So wait, so when you went from you did touch on the beginning of COVID, the middle of COVID. Like what was the outcome for you? Like what was your conclusion at the end of like because what'd you get from the whole experience?
So what I got from it really was after kind of just working. So I technically actually started advertising what was the pre Keagan and Co. guitar repair stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And I was just like, hey, I'm just some guy around here that offers guitar setups, maintenance, repairs, blah, blah, blah.
So cool, man.
And, like, I actually had a couple of people that latched onto the ad. Some of the people knew who I was already. But some people were just like, hey, I saw your ad. I need some repairs. Excuse me. And so I started just doing repairs for random dudes that came in locally.
Wow.
And it kind of just started getting around. I didn't have a ton of time for it at the in the middle of it because I was working a ton. I was working at Target, and it was don't ever fucking work for Target. It's the worst.
Dang.
At least the store that I was at, I wanted to destroy.
Which store was that?
It was Broadway and Dodge. It was the Alcon store right next to that Home Depot.
There's a Target. Oh, that big one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one right next to the.
Well, that's insanely high traffic.
Not only that, but it's also just the management there. Everybody that they had brought in was just. It was just a toxic environment. The drummer actually in my band, he actually works at the Target over on Grand Tanca Verde. He's been there for like 5 years, but he's even said like, the Alcon store is where careers go to die.
Wow.
Like, oh, okay, great. So I started off shooting myself in the foot. Fucking awesome. But I was working there so much, just trying to like get as much money in my pockets as I could.
Why were you thriving? Like, what was the purpose of having that money?
Just to actually, make sure I could continually pay my bills, have food
Oh,
on
okay.
the table, have extra money for like in case of emergency happens, pay off credit cards and shit like that.
Okay.
Just to try to get back on my feet in a good financial place. I was doing that. I hated it. Hated my life. I wasn't really getting a whole lot of bites on the guitar repair thing, but I was just like, it was kind of just like a supplemental sort of thing to try to get my foot in the door somewhere.
Yeah.
Then one day, I was driving home, and I was just like, hey, I haven't been into Guitar Center in a while because it's been closed, but this was probably about a year in by this point. Nothing really had happened. I was just kind of pushing and working towards it. I had written a couple of, quick demos and stuff of music that I thought I'd wanted to write, and I probably haven't touched them since 2021.
Yeah, I mean...
But I went in, and it was open, and I was like, oh, cool. And my friend Taylor, the guitar player of Wormhaven, actually, now, was working. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize you started working here. He was like, yeah, I started working here a little while back. And me being me, I was just like, are there any positions open? Because I'm like, there's still part of me that was just like, fuck it, let's see if we can actually just work here at the discount.
What was your experience at Guitar Center?
It was good until it wasn't.
Okay. Just because I know it's like a meme, and I've seen,
Yeah, so it was good for a while until recently when it wasn't. So I talked to him. There was talks for a little while. The holidays were coming through. They were going to try to get me in, but there was so much stuff going on, so they were just like, we'll just, it kind of got brushed under the rug. I went in and talked to the manager. It was January. He was like, yeah, come on. I think you're absolutely fucking
Who was the
great."
manager?
Tom. Did you ever?
No.
Okay.
No. I had Alex
there.
Best on. He was the manager at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Tom's actually an LA guy too. Yeah, it was super cool. He had only been here for like a year, if that. He brought me on. It was great. I started in sales. I was there for like 3 months, and then very quickly transitioned to repairs.
That was the end game for you, just go straight to repairs?
Yeah.
Were you trying to get there just right away?
Yeah, I was. I wasn't interested in selling any gear. I didn't fucking care about that.
Yeah.
I could do it.
Was Chris Tarpley working there?
No, Chris never worked there.
Is that his last name? How you pronounce
Yeah,
that? Yeah. What, he never worked there?
He's never worked there now.
Oh, I've seen him behind that desk. I swear to God, I've seen him behind that desk.
He always comes around. Like, he's basically an honorary employee.
Who was the tech before?
Justin.
It
was Justin Ward.
And then he left, and then you took over?
So he and I actually traded places.
Whoa.
He had been doing repairs there for about 4 years.
So long.
Because he started there, then he moved to Gainesville, and he came back, and he was just doing repairs and blah, blah, blah. by the end of March, he was just so sick of it. When I started there, this is actually when I met Chuck. And I'll probably go more into Chuck.
I'm listening. I'm gonna let her out.
You're good. So I started repairs in April, and everything was good. Everything was fine. People came in. People liked what I was doing. They liked my work. They liked how friendly I was, and I gained a lot of traction because people were just like, "Hey, this new guy that's actually behind the desk, he's fucking great." So more people actually started coming to Guitar Center for repairs. But I told the manager at the time, I was like, "Hey, I do this personally." He was like, "Oh, that's totally fine." Chuck is actually a luthier and everything too. Like he's built instruments for some of like the touring punk rock musicians and stuff. So that's totally fine if you have personal ventures. Just try not to let it get too blended in here. If you have stuff that you want to bring in when it's slow, that's fine. I was like, okay, cool, great.
That's very cool.
And it was super rad because Justin was doing the same thing prior to. He would bring in like his friends' guitars that they would just give him, and he would just bring in and all that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. And so I would do that for a while, and
Were you happy?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. Up until last year, it's actually already almost been a year now, crazy. Up until probably April of last year, actually. April, March. Tom ended up helping out over at an Albuquerque store. So we were without a manager for a while he was gone. And then we just get a call one day saying, "Yeah, I'm moving to Albuquerque," and that was that. He came back, packed up his stuff, and left. We didn't have a manager for like 3 months.
How was that shit show?
Oh my god. That was like the start of the decline.
What Guitar Center are you at? Well, you're at Broadway, or are you at the
Broadway.
what is that River one?
It was Broadway and Swan.
Okay.
The one up here on River, that had a whole...
It is River, right?
It's
Oracle?
Yeah, it's River and
I'm
Orange Grove.
I'm learning my streets, dog.
Yeah, it's Orange Grove and River.
Cool.
There was a crazy whole thing there. Jameson can tell you that story.
It's crazy. Every fucking buddy in the music scene here in Tucson,
They've worked there at least
All.
at one point.
all of them, everybody. Not me. I chose. I never wanted to work there because I knew everybody did, and I was like, fuck that. Like, I want to just do something. I don't know. There must be a word for this, right? It's stubborn, ignorant, where I just whatever is popping, whatever is popular, I do the opposite.
Yeah.
Like I just hate whatever's the thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I go the complete opposite.
I didn't work there because everybody was trying to work there. I wanted to work there because...
Let me interject again. That's stupid of me because everybody who did work there has all the best instruments because of the crazy discount.
all the best instruments that I actually have, I didn't buy through Guitar Center.
But the-
I
but-
bought at Guitar
But like for example, Ben from Pyrotechnica. Look at his
Yeah.
bass biz, dude. Best basses.
Basses.
Bases.
Is he still playing the bongos? The Music Man ones?
You're talking about Ben, right? Ben,
Yeah,
the
Ben
bass player.
Diaz.
I don't even know you play bongos.
Okay.
But in that case, Ben, let's get some fucking bongo instrumentals for Pyrotechnica. You know what I mean?
I'm talking like the bongo bass.
Oh, dude. I'm like, dude, let's get some goddamn bongos on that. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure he could.
You know?
Interesting thing, actually. Quick side note on Scarlett. So my fiance, her sister, actually went to school with Scarlett. They were actually like really good friends growing up.
Whoa.
They just kind of ended up drifting apart. So like, there's just like this weird connection between my fiance's like family because she, my fiance actually grew up with Taylor. The
Taylor.
player of Wormhaven.
Oh my god.
I went to school with him, but she grew up with him and everything. So there's this weird like connection to like from her and the whole music scene. It's bizarre. Anyway, I forget where I was going.
It's crazy. I'm sorry. I keep jumping out
Oh, you're good.
because I had to close the door. But that's not uncommon because when I first moved here to Tucson, and I started working for Choose, and then I met her.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I went to high school. Everybody that I was friends with. She's like, oh, I know him because high school, or you know. I'm
Yeah,
like,
or, like,
everybody
we
knows
worked together.
everybody.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's
Oh.
been an hour.
Oh, okay, an hour and what?
I don't know, it's been an hour.
I'm telling you,
Went by
it's gonna
fast,
go. It goes by real fast. We're not even done yet. I feel like we just
Well, we
began.
just put 30 more
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so just to gloss over it really quick so we can actually move on here.
Yeah.
Manager left. We didn't have an actual manager for like months.
3 months, right?
3 or 4 months.
Mhm.
Something crazy like that. Taylor just kind of took over, taking over like the managerial duties. Didn't get paid any extra. He was actually going to try to shoot for the actual general manager position, and actually get back paid. Well, they totally fucked him on that.
Yeah.
Um,
That's common.
Yeah, exactly.
It happened
Brought
to-
in some rando.
Happened to me.
Yeah. Brought in some rando dude from like Nordstrom Rack. He was a nice guy, I'll give him that. But like he was just a guitar player in some like bar band.
No, I know, but even when I was working for only a year,
Yeah.
same thing happened. Three to 4 months. It was just me, 2 people, and it was a 5 to 6 person employee like type of job, and it was only 2 of us.
Yeah.
And same thing. We're like, why don't we just hire her? She's the ASM. Just move her up to general manager and then move me to ASM.
Yeah, it
Nope.
makes sense.
And what they do, same thing. Hire someone from the outside who has no experience. You're like, what the fuck?
You're just like, well, they have like managerial experience running stores.
But what is the reason and excuse? Like, why can't you just hire within?
I really don't know. No, but I actually got asked to go work for, which I now do technically anyway, work for a shop in town called Gabriel's Guitars. Fucking great dudes. Back in March, Chuck actually left to go work there because he had gotten a much better offer than Guitar Center was going to give him, and they would not like budge on the numbers. Whereas Gabriel was just like, "This is what I'll give you, and I guarantee it's going to be better," and it sure was.
Oh, that was weird. Like a fucking beaver.
Yeah, right.
But like Guitar Center, for example, I don't foresee them being around much longer because everything's purchased online.
That's actually kind of what they're trying to shift into, is a little bit more online sales.
You have to, because it's the overhead cost of that facility, that building on Broadway in particular.
Yeah.
Rent, overhead, overall overhead is ridiculous.
Higher.
Huh?
It's just naturally higher because it's a brick and mortar. That's how it is.
Yeah, but if you're going, everything's reverb.com. I mean, I bought my guitar online.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's sort of like, I don't foresee it. That's why they're very limited on their financial like outcome to give raises, because if you look at the stock market for them, I'm pretty sure it's
Oh, yeah, they
dropped.
did IPO recently, huh?
I'm pretty sure it's very low because it's
I'm
just
sure it is.
it's just the way the world's going, man. Like
Well, I mean, everything's taking a dive anymore.
retail wise.
Yeah. I mean, just on the market as well. So I got an offer for there, and I told him, I was just like, hey, just so you know, I'm also being offered to go over here.
Which is where?
Gabriel's.
So
Yeah, so Gabriel's actually tried to poach me too, because Chuck was just like, no, this guy is fucking amazing. Bring him over if you can.
that's so cool.
Um,
You're still there now, right?
yeah, so I'm there whenever they need me.
Shout out Gabriel Guitar.
Dude, Gabriel's Guitars, that's the place. If you don't come to me, go to them.
Yeah, let's go to Keagan at Co. No,
Keagan
Keagan
and
and
Co.
Co. What's the Co for? Like co-op?
Company.
Oh.
Just in case, like, if anybody wants to join on. But I made it so that it's like, it shows like, hey, it's just pretty much me right now. But, you know, you're welcome to come just like hang out. Like, I do all the work out of my house. There's a guy in town called John Markovich. He was like,
I know who he is.
yeah, I was gonna say, you know John.
Yeah, he's worked on my amps plenty of times. He actually has my head still for my. I just left it there. It was the line 6. Remember that line? Oh, that one.
I was gonna say.
But that's the the MK2.
Yeah.
He has my MK1. I
Okay.
just left it.
If you get it back.
I'm not gonna get it back. It's been like 5, 6, 7 years. Well, I left it there because I needed a whole new motherboard, and I didn't want to spend. Back then I was mega broke. I couldn't. $180 was like was everything to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, I'm just gonna buy a new one. So I bought a new one for like $350,
Oh yeah.
which is just.
It's more obviously than just buying a motherboard. It was just like the simple brain thing of.
Well, it was like 180 for the motherboard, and then I gotta pay him for his services. So
Oh, yeah,
just buy a fucking new head.
Exactly.
So that's what I did.
Yeah.
He's still alive? Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think he actually works with John Bujak over at L&M Music, but he still does all the work out of his house. And it was because I had gone to him once or twice that he's just working out of his house. And I was like, oh, I could fucking do that.
He looks like doesn't he look like he looks like the guy who would be doing that stuff? Have you been to his house?
Yeah, I've been to his house.
You see all the stuff he has, like all the frequency wave things, like
It's crazy.
it looks like a time capsule from the 1970s to like now.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
But he looks like the guy that would be in there. Like
Absolutely.
his aesthetics and
Everything just matches.
his hair, fucking wild.
Mhm.
Like he got hit by lightning.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, anyways, so the Enco is partially also just because, like, if you want to just come, hang out, you're more than welcome. I mean, you're going to be sitting in my living room, but, whatever, fucking cares.
Yeah.
No, so I got a good offer from them, and I actually was moonlighting over there, unbeknownst to Guitar Center for a little
What's
bit.
moonlighting?
So, like, kind of working, like, off the grid.
Oh, okay,
at
okay.
night, or usually it's, like, at night.
Okay.
But, like, when I wasn't at Guitar Center or anything like that, I would be over there. And the guys at Guitar Center had no idea. Except for, like, a very select few people who were just like, look, I think I'm going to go over there. But then they slapped me with, hey, we have this area specialist position opening up, which is basically like corporate district manager of repairs.
Which sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck, that sounds great. Well,
Fucking 2 locations.
oh no, I'd be actually managing the entire district.
Like Arizona, Phoenix, Mesa.
Arizona, I think one store in New Mexico, a store or
Oh,
two
shit.
in Colorado.
That's
I
badass.
think that's the district. I would be overseeing all the
That's
repairs.
badass.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, long story short, they didn't go with me partially just because I was based in Tucson, so it was going to cost more for them to get me into Phoenix, even though I was the best qualified. They were worried about it, costing more to get me to Phoenix to manage those stores and to actually see the other 2 stores down
Flights,
here.
the hotels,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
pay.
Yeah, and I mean, I get that, but it's also just like, you went with somebody who was less qualified, like repair-wise, for saving a little extra money. on
So
the
you
travel costs.
you said yes to that job and you
I
didn't
said-
get it?
I said, yeah, I was like, please, like, here's my application.
So you didn't get it, though?
No, they literally went with some guy in Phoenix because there's 4 stores in Phoenix and there's 2 here. That was it. That was like the be all end all reason.
Oh my god, look how windy it is, dude.
So at the end of that, I was just like, all right, you know what? Fuck this company. Fucking. A lot of people really, like, they liked my work so much they were just like, no, we really want to actually like pay you. We don't want to pay this fucking company. And
Plus,
so,
I feel like you're more affordable. Guitar Center was pricey.
So that's actually the thing is
It wasn't?
my prices are actually an average of Guitar Center's prices. So I'm actually really competitive with that.
Cool. That's great. Well, I mean, you never charged me that much.
Yeah.
So,
I was
but
gonna say,
still, but I don't.
starting out-
But
dude, starting out, I would do a setup for like $25.
I think it was 35.
It might have been 30. I don't remember.
I think it was 35.
ago.
But now that I'm like, well off and financially, now I don't mind paying for the quality because now I'm just like, I got the money now.
Right.
But back then, dude, I was like, fuck, $35 is like, that's
a lot.
that's
Yeah.
half of like the remaining money I have. I have $80, like 35, and the rest is for fun. So I'm like, shit. But
Yeah.
now I'm just like, I shouldn't be communicating this out loud because now you're like, all right, well, $300, Mav.
No, dude.
no,
No,
but
it's all based on per job. But like, no, like when I started doing it, I had no idea how much to charge. Like,
yeah.
that was kind of the thing.
Who would know? How the fuck would you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I've never once brought my guitar to have somebody else work on it.
You've always did it yourself, yeah.
Exactly. So I had no idea what people charged. So I was just like, okay.
I'm sorry to do this. Oh, that was loud. I'm sorry to do this. I gotta pee again, dude.
I learned that I am actually really good at doing independent contracting work, and I am actually better at managing my own time than I actually thought. Because working for Target, working for Guitar Center, it kind of made me realize, how much I mean, everybody fucking hates working at like a retail store or or whatever the fuck. But it kind of made me realize how much I actually like, being my own boss sort of thing. When I first started doing like DoorDash, I had the hardest time motivating myself to actually do it because I was like, oh, well, if I don't, put myself on the schedule, I don't have to do it. Great. Fucking, then I'm not gonna do it. But I'm like, if I don't do it though, then I don't make money. But the thing was, is because I was working an hourly job, I would still make money, so it didn't matter. But now that when I had gotten let go from Guitar Center, I had nothing else to rely on. I mean, by that point, I had worked on so many guitars. It was like the only like time invested skill that I like really put effort into. So I was like, fuck. I've already built such a good clientele. I can't go back to working at like fucking, Target. Not like I can go back there anyway. I totally fucked them.
Yeah, it's just.
So I was just like, well, fuck. Okay, well let's start up Keagan Co. Start advertising my service. I had so many people follow.
Do you have? I mean, I've seen your videos. Are you working out of your shed or something?
I'm working out of my living room.
Cool. Okay.
I
Well,
changed my whole living room, so I essentially have like 3 living rooms in my house. I took the front one closest to.
sounds like a big house, dude.
It's actually a really.
That sounds big.
It's you should come over sometime.
Send the invite.
I was gonna say it's far as fuck, but like you should come over.
You drove over here, man.
Yeah.
So I at least do the, return the favor. I mean, return the favor like it's like a duty.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, I gotta go to Keagan since he came to my house.
You have to, man.
But I wouldn't mind though. Yeah, I would love to see your shop and do a thing.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's really basic. But the thing is like I don't really need a ton. Most everything I do is by hand. Occasionally I'll need to like maybe run over to Gabriel's because they have a drill press, and I might need something to actually use that with. But it's not often.
For example, what's an example? Why would you need to use a drill press?
So if I'm building like a string through body guitar,
Whoa.
using a drill press is the best way to really get perfectly straight holes through it, so I can actually feed strings through the back of the body out. That's a really good time to use a drill press, but I mean, you can still do it by hand.
But it's more convenient, right?
It's more convenient.
Precision.
It's closer, yeah. It's a higher level of precision.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm pretty good at precision work. I'll show you some.
Have you been to the they call it NAMM, right? NAMM, the guitar
I've
NAMM?
never been to NAMM.
Bro, me either. Dude,
I always wanted
we
to
should
go, but
fucking
you-
for sure go. Legit,
Yeah.
because I've never been, and every time I see everybody go here in Tucson. Everybody goes.
Yeah, Chris gets invited like every year. I'm like, how the fuck do you get invited?
Oh, I thought you can buy tickets.
You can buy tickets, but the best times to go are like the first few days when it's only like the exclusive sort of thing. But you can go like the last like 2 days, but like everything's already done. You're just kind of going around like walking basically in a brand new museum. It's weird.
What I would love to do is with time when I get good at this, I would if I could get like at least some notoriety.
Yeah.
I would love to have that guy who does he's an Iranian guy, the guy who does the OD guitars.
Yeah.
And I'd love to I'd be in the behind the cameras, just back there while you talk to him about like, because don't you find him fascinating? Like,
Yeah.
those are unique guitars.
I really.
There's nobody else in the market who's doing exactly what he's doing.
OD guitars are really sick. There's another company I think you'd like called Lepsky.
Mm-hmm.
They're a Russian company. I mean, all the Soviet instruments in like the 60s are fucking garbage.
Oh man,
They're great for garage rock stuff, but like ultimately.
you gotta send me that link though. I'll remind you after this.
Yeah.
So-
Lepsky guitars.
So I think we're about to be an hour and a half in. We can literally the first podcast I did was 3 hours, but that wasn't by choice. It just,
It's just one of those things. It's just you just keep going, and I get it.
Well, I've done multiple, so this is the first time where it's actually looking the way it looks now.
Right.
I've done one with Matty Hoffman, but that was in the small room over there.
You know, it's really funny.
What?
I actually talked to Maddie somewhat recently.
In person?
No, not in person. He's
Oh.
been touring like fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking big proud of him.
Big proud.
Big proud of him, dude.
I mean-
It's fucking so rad that he got that Escape the Fate gig. That's so fucking
He's
sick.
playing with Def Leppard right now. We're not in the band, but he's.
But yeah, he's on tour with Def Leppard.
And,
It's so
and funny, out of all the bands I mentioned, I love Def Leppard, man.
insane,
I would not mind being in a cover band.
right?
For Def Leppard or Prince all day, dude.
Oh my god. Speaking my language.
That's why I bought that bass,
Dude, hell yeah.
because it looks very R&B.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, you spoke to Maddie.
Yeah, I actually talked to Maddie. I told him I was just like, hey, so we're planning a show pretty soon. We're doing a couple of covers in the show just because like we're trying to promote all of the newer stuff that we're gonna be doing.
Oh, you're doing covers.
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple of
Ooh.
covers. And I was talking to the guys. I was just like, what if we do an Escape the Fate cover? And
That'd be smart.
exactly. And I was just like, they're like, well, I'm like, we should do an Escape the Fate cover.
You have to.
Because bitches love Escape the Fate.
Not only that though, because they have played in Tucson before.
They've played in Tucson.
Or Rialto.
He's also a local here.
Yeah, so
and
it's
I've talked to him plenty of times before.
Gotta do it.
And so I hit him up. I was just like, hey, dude, I got a question for you. First off, I was just like, hey, do you guys need like a guitar tech or a front of house engineer on the road? He said they have people, but they'll keep me in mind.
keep reminding him because
he's gonna bring some guitars to me when he gets back in town.
When I'm listening to this pod and I'm editing it, I'm gonna remember to I'm gonna also hit him up because I just sent him some stuff today.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit him up again. It's like, hey, I had Keagan on. Keep him in mind. I'm just gonna say that he'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
because that'd be awesome to have you on there just on tour.
But yeah, they have people right now. Their current tech works primarily with like another band they regularly tour with. I forget who it was, but
just keep drilling it, man. I think you can get it.
I texted him a little while back, and I was just like, "Hey, if you're in town, the guys Embrace Yourself and I might do an Escape the Fate cover. Would you be interested in actually making a guest?
That'd be
appearance?"
fun.
And he was like, "Dude, fuck yeah, let's do it."
That'd be fucking sweet.
I was like, all right, sick. So I looked at the tour dates to see if like he would possibly be in town. The day we're playing the show, they're gonna be in Texas. And at the time, it was the only show they had booked in Texas.
Yeah.
Fuck, damn.
But here's the thing, though. He'd have to fly out here, and then you gotta compensate him because that's,
Well, now they're actually gonna be doing a full tour out that way. So
Yeah.
It's like,
in the future. I mean.
yeah, no, like.
But I bet you by the time that happens, you guys would probably be so well established as a band unit that you just that idea of covering a song is no longer. Well, I don't know.
I was gonna say further down the line. I mean, even if like we're just
For fun.
in a hometown or like maybe they're in an adjacent city.
That'd be fucking amazing.
Just bring them over and just like.
Obviously, wireless has to come on only on the solo.
Yeah, well,
like
that's
just
what we're gonna do.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what we're
Oh, that'd be so
we're gonna play
amazing.
the show, and then like Jameson was gonna like announce him like.
Remember they got Brace Yourself got noticed for covering Black Velvet Rides.
Yeah.
They got noticed.
It was like a year and a half.
Didn't it go viral a little bit?
It did.
It did, right?
Yeah. Black Velvet Rides made a statement like how they were just like, yeah, they like are really putting in a lot of effort and shit. I was just like, that's so fucking cool.
Jameson, just you guys all just need the goddamn music out. I mean, that's all that's missing.
I know. Dude.
You know what I mean?
We've got the song.
And he has the knowledge.
16th.
What?
We've got a new song coming out 16th.
Before the show.
Yep.
All right, so
pre-save link.
let me write that down. All right, guys, I'm gonna be at the show June 24th, 6 p.m. at the Rock to see Nevertheless, Echoes, Brace Yourself headlining, CZYK, and Winter Haven.
Yep.
I'll be there. Tickets. I should probably put the QR code right here. But I don't. It's sort of confusing though, because like if you're using your phone to look at the video, how do you scan your QR code with your own phone?
I mean, if you just go to
You know what I mean though, like
yeah, no, I know. Just go to braceyourselfband.com and then go to the tour section. You can buy tickets there.
Hold on, let me notate this. So June 16th is the new release, right?
Yep.
Are you on there? The song?
This song, no, this was recorded. So the next few were initially recorded with vocalists previously. There's just been some changes, obviously, to reflect the changes in the band. But most of the instrumental hasn't really changed. If anything changes, I mean, obviously it's going to be cool. But the next, I think, like 2 or 3 songs that get released were already written and ready to go. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be on the records, but I'll be out there playing it. So.
Boom. Also, I'll remind you to send me the Winter Haven audition song so I can impose it.
Haven.
Warm Haven. What did I say?
Said Winter Haven.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Imagine if they're in the same bill.
I know, right?
Because back when I was playing, there was like 3 bands that started off with Within. It was like within a Dream, Within Destruction, and then some other Within one.
Yeah.
And it was all during the same time. And I was like, the fact that you would notice that on a flyer, wouldn't you want to change your name?
Yeah, seriously.
I was like, there's too many Withins. I was like, oh, it was the same. I think it was Within Ghost in a Shell. No, that's different.
Yeah.
Whatever. But cool. Let's wrap this up, man, because we can hang out after this.
Yeah.
So let's promote. We got the show on June 24th, which I've been promoting at the Rock, 6 p.m. June 24th here in Tucson.
Yep.
Tickets on Brace Yourself website. Just go to the Instagram, Brace Yourself. The Instagram is. Do you know the Brace Yourself Instagram name?
Brace Yourself Band.
Brace Yourself Yeah, Brace Yourself Band. braceyourselfband.com. You get your tickets there. I'll be there. Keagan's first show in like 10 years,
Yeah.
which is, if you've been on stage before or played before, it's a big deal.
It's crazy.
It's a big deal. I bet you're very nervous and excited at the same time.
More excited.
Yeah, good. That's good.
No, not only is it going to be my first show in 10 years, it's Jace's first show with the band. He's the new drummer.
Where'd you guys find him?
He's actually just been in a couple of like.
Yeah, because I've been trying to find a drummer for a long time, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Huh?
Just get Stefan Majalka,
Who is that?
drummer from Maven. He's already in like 5 bands.
Oh, no.
It's like the whole joke though with most.
Yeah.
drummers. It's just like just have them do it.
It's
I know
most-
they have like 17 other projects. It's fine.
Oh, for example, Travis, I can't say his last name, Vertidides or whatever his last name is. Sorry, Travis, but he was a phenomenal drummer too. He actually took over Sam for a while, and he made me level up.
Yeah.
He made me boom.
I could always see if
No.
JJ's interested.
I'm not gonna do it yet. I need to start playing again. I haven't played since I released my solo album.
Yeah, that was a while ago too, huh?
I haven't played.
Yeah.
That's why I bought that. I still haven't played that yet on the amp.
Damn.
I've been playing it without the amp.
Right.
It's just more of a mental barrier for me. I've been played for so long,
Yeah.
so I'm preparing for the second album, and I just need it's a weird thing, man. Like for me not to have played this long it's weird.
I feel that.
It's
I see him constantly at least playing, but playing with other people has been such a long time coming for me that I was playing with myself for so long. Then I just started writing stuff in super weird like time signatures, and it just really got super proggy that like I basically forgot how to play in fucking 4/4.
like rhythms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I started playing with Chuck, like I started playing bass in the band with him, and everything was fine. And then we got Brian, the bass player for that band, and then I started playing rhythm guitar, and we went to go do some like demo tracking and stuff. And I apparently couldn't just nail this one thing. It sounded right when I like would play it, but I would listen back and it would be off, and I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
How was it off? On
I
your
would just
timing
count, like,
or
an extra and or something. So instead of being in like 4/4, it'd be in like 5/8 instead.
oh, because you're just trained your brain to play in those.
Just playing weird.
Dude, I look forward.
So it was just a lot.
Well, I hit you up. Remember when I found out you were in Brace Yourself? I was being genuine. I was like this, let me choose my words wisely because I don't want to come off as like an asshole or a douche. Brace Yourself isn't my music. You know what I mean? And I was like, fudge yeah, they got Keagan on. And I was like, this is gonna help them just evolve a little bit more. It's like it's a good addition to the band. And also I was like, and so I hit you up personally. I was like, dude, I forgot what I said. It's like,
It was just something about how you thought I was actually like a good addition to it.
yeah, dude, yeah. I was like,
that actually that meant a lot.
I was like, hell
That
yeah.
really actually.
Oh,
meant a lot
thanks,
to me.
dude.
So I'm sorry if like my message back to you. didn't-
No,
but
I wasn't trying to get anything I wasn't I didn't expect you to reciprocate back to me. I was just like, I was like, fucking finally.
Yeah.
Finally, dude. It's
That's
been
how I feel.
forever. Like you just didn't. Yeah, and you look happy, man. You're marketing well. I mean, it was so funny. The video I posted on the stories, like I'm having you on today. You're like, check out this chorus.
Guys, check out how hard this chorus part hits.
Dude,
Oh.
after I posted that video, it was like, God, that was bad.
No, it's not. Why was it bad? Why?
I don't know. Everything I.
It's
put
not
up
bad. It was great. It was
No,
perfect.
no, and that's the thing. It's just like, I'm just so hypercritical of myself that everything, like, people are gonna see it. They're gonna be like, wow, that was fucking cool.
I thought it was.
That.
I think it was really well lit, and edited it, whatever. I think it was great. I just for me, because I know you, and you're like, look at this chorus, and I was like, I was expecting some prog,
Yeah, no.
But that's why it's funny. But it's great quality. Like it's obviously Jameson doing the engineering, right, for the music.
Yeah. So
Did you know he heard my album before I released it?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
We were at the there's a bar up on Oracle. It's like everybody plays at that bar now. It's like the new Rock.
Is it the Edge one?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were there, and he
sister-in-law lives right next to it.
yeah. So he came in. He was in my car, and I just like show him my album, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, this is great." I was like, "Thanks, man," because I know you know engineering. I just need advice what should I do? It's like, do I need to work, like turn up the bass? Like, what's your perception?
Yeah, like just what it needs.
And then he showed me some music of theirs, Brace Yourself, and I was like, fuck, this is better than mine. Damn it. As far as like the quality was like, his was so high def.
Yeah,
I think he was
production
well, it was
quality.
MIDI files.
Yeah, there was he said when he's on the road he's gonna actually like write MIDI guitar files and stuff. Like,
See,
whatever
but
comes
that's why
with
his
it.
sounded different than mine. Mine was very,
It's all like raw DI and.
but it sounds, even with my knowledge now, I'm still learning music engineering still. I still watch
Yeah.
all these YouTube videos like Joey Sturgis, and I'm like all into that stuff in music engineering. So when I released my album months later, I'm still accumulating knowledge, and I hear my album, I'm like, all right, I could have worked on this and that, but I was like, for what I did and what I didn't do, is particularly is the most important part. What I did not do for the album, it's freaking impressive. When I hear it, and this is when I listen to the album, I listen to it as if I wasn't me. I'm somebody else. Somebody told me to listen to,
have to.
and I listen to it, and I'm just like, this shit's fucking cool. But there's certain parts where I'm just like,
Where you
the
come
bass
back
is
into yourself.
well, in particular, like the bass right here and this particular part is a little bit too muddy. You could have probably just cut that frequency, so on and so forth. But I didn't know that information during the thing. But I can't wait for you to listen to it because I want to hear your genuine opinion.
I'm excited.
And you got what year is your car?
2005.
So you got a great system. I got a 06 Tacoma. You know what's sucky about?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, what? You still drive that Avenger or whatever it was?
Oh, it was a Dodge Caliber.
Oh yeah.
No, I
that's right.
sold that shit for $1,000, dude. Cheap.
I was gonna say I'm actually trying to sell my car right now.
Well, the Tacoma, you know, it's a great, cool car. You know what sucks though? The radio has no mids.
Yeah, that's how mine is.
You have no mids?
Yeah,
Well, then good, because my album's perfect for you.
great.
Because, so when I did my album, I listened to it on 6 different speakers. I had Bose headphones. I used those, what are those monitors right there? I used my car. I used my girlfriend's car. I used her mom's. And she had a 2020 Xfinity type of weird car.
Yeah.
But it was new, right? I used all these sources of speakers, and I would take notes, and I just make sure it sounded perfect on every single thing.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and
You're literally doing it the way you should.
I know. I learned that afterwards, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nobody taught me. I just realized when you're working out, headphones sound different than your car, and but honestly, I had to do it because the Tacoma has no mids,
Right.
so I couldn't hear the mids. So I had to like take other things into my own hands.
See, that's actually one thing that I do like about my car is that there is no mid knob, so I can't boost or cut the mids.
You want it all.
I have to in the actual mixing process make sure that the mids are present, because no matter what speaker system you're on, no matter what speakers you're listening to, the mid section is what you're primarily actually getting as far as data is concerned.
Interesting. I didn't think about it that way.
Whether you're in headphones, whether you're in a hi-fi system, whether you're in a concert venue, I mean, yeah, you're going to hear the highs, you're going to hear the lows in like big speakers, but in small speakers, you're going to hear a lot of mid-range. In medium-sized speakers, you're going to hear a little more low end, maybe a little more top end, but you're still going to hear mid-range. So when you're EQing and you're mixing, that mid-range is the most important thing.
So for example, what you're saying is, Warm Haven,
Yep.
I'm available.
Yep, there you go.
So what you're saying is not having the mids in your vehicle sort of helps you cut the mids into your mix because you don't hear it.
helps you dial in everything that lives.
But what if you had a vehicle that you can adjust your mids? You had the option of minusing it out. Well, flat would be center.
Yeah, just
But
you're checking your mixes. Just set everything.
but having a mid option in your vehicle, wouldn't that be better than what we have?
I mean,
Because you can go.
You can EQ certain frequencies up. Like if you want to hear more, like let's say your car, has a lot of road noise, you can't hear like a low mid range frequency. You can boost that so you can actually hear the full
That's
spectrum
cool.
of the song.
Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait for you to listen to the album, man. 'Cause I want, dude. If something sucks, I'm not a fan. It's so old now, the album, that I moved on from it. So if you say this sucks or this is shit, I'm like, all right, I get it because it's true. I'll be like, yeah, well, you know the process, so yeah. But be real.
Even like stuff that I did like 2 weeks ago, if you told me it sucked, I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever.
But if there's a song where you're like, there's no vocals, man. If there's a song you're like, oh, I can sing on this, let me know and let's do it for fun.
Dude, hell yeah.
For fun. Why not? It'd be good content for your company. Keagan and Co. It might change, right?
I'm thinking of moving to a name called Palladium.
Palladium.
Palladium
So,
Guitar Works.
but it's just more content just to keep feeding into your business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe something that goes on my personal account because I've shifted my personal account to an actual artist account. So there's actually a lot more functionality that I can get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can actually boost certain posts, and I actually can see the inside.
Oh, you've been doing that?
I haven't boosted any posts yet because I've actually been getting decent traction.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to keep my money like for more important things.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
merch and-
You don't gotta pay that, man.
Exactly.
You really don't gotta pay for boost, really, unless it's like a music video clip
Exactly.
or like a really well filmed like promo for your company.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. It's just like I'm not gonna boost any of the posts that I make. That's just like constant ads for like, hey, go to this show, go to this show.
No, hell no, don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just gonna post another one in like 2 days anyway. So it's like there's no point.
There's no point. But what's your thoughts on this? I just came up with this idea about like 20 minutes ago. It was in my mind the whole time. Imagine if I brought you and Adon in here, and we set up 2 desks, and we just do 3 levels of okay, 10 minutes, I'll be done. And so it's 2 desks, right? And we set up 3 tiers of fundamentals of guitar stuff. I mean, I'm the worst. I don't know. Anyways, it'd be the first string change on a Floyd Rose.
Yeah.
Time it. Boom. But 2 desks. We film it.
Okay, so like ultimate warrior like
Yeah.
edition. That's
Who's
insane.
faster and proficient? Bang, bang, bang. Well, I'll bring in Chris Tarpley for one of the judges, and then who else would we bring for a judge?
That's a good question.
One of the guys you work for, Gilbert Guitars.
Yeah, I could bring in Chuck.
Chuck.
I would say Chuck is an actual certified luthier.
So here we go. So we got Chuck and Chris Tarpley to be the certified judges. We need one more person, but it'll be me because I'm the outsider looking in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you guys do your shit. We'll time it, and then it's based off of time and proficiency. That's how fun would that be?
That would be-
Right here,
Dude, that would be so sick.
I'm gonna hit him up.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
dude. That'd be fun. And then so
That'd be
what
so much fun.
would be the second tier? So it'd be string change on a Floyd Rose.
Purely string change.
For us, that's one.
I feel like it's hard to go next because it's just like string change would lead right into setup territory. Just like how quickly and how well you could actually do a setup. I mean, ultimately they should take about the same amount of time, but how good is your
So
setup?
should we start off? Tier 1 should be this humbucker guitar, humbucker pickup change, and then string. Would it be that
No, pickup
stages?
change should be 2.
Okay, see,
Pickup change should be 2.
even with, but why would you do that after the strings? Don't you need the strings out of the way?
You do, but the thing is like, well, actually, yeah,
So it would-
tier 1 would be a good idea. Just start with the guitars with the strings off.
Rewire humbuckers. That's the thing.
Brutal.
It's okay.
Crazy.
It broke, but it's all fine. But yeah, so what would be tier 1?
So, I guess tier 1 then we could start with strings off the guitar, changing out, instead of rewiring it, just changing out like a bridge pickup. Points would be awarded for speed, cleanliness of your soldering work.
This is cool.
Yeah, no, I like this.
So-
I like where you're going with this.
so, yeah.
Tier 2 is getting the guitar strung back out. 3 would be finishing out the setup, so adjusting the neck, adjusting the string height, pickup height, all that shit. And
That's
that
it?
would be like your final product.
Let's do that.
Just pit all of like the. I'm gonna use air quotes here because there are a lot of like fucking.
Guitar terminologies or
I was gonna say there's like a bunch of hacks and people who think they can do it around here. So guitar techs just like do like an ultimate fucking showdown.
It's gonna be 2 people only.
Yeah.
Just because. So what I would do, since I'm gonna be editing this, I'll remind myself to figure out how to set it up. I'll hit up Don, and I know that Don's super down for that.
Yeah.
And I'll hit up. You'll know by now, and we'll try to figure out a date and time because we gotta hit up Chris Tarpley, and then you gotta talk to your guy Gilbert. Chuck.
Grills is the shop name.
Okay, Chuck is the guy who'll be coming over, and we'll do those because my friends are going to be coming over soon, Fernie and Andre, to do the podcast. This whole setup is going to change. I'm changing all this to that wall,
Okay.
and so we would film that 5 cameras, which I have 3 now. I'll get 2 more, which would be easy, and I'll set up 2 overheads and then 3 underheads, so it's like facing you and Adon,
Yeah.
and then the 5th one would be looking at the judges. seeing what they're looking at, and I'll edit the whole thing, and it'll be set up on this wall where table, and then we'll just gotta. The cool thing is we'll find somebody to if you have already a client you need to work on that has that particular those particular needs, then you would use that guitar. But if you don't, but boom.
I have a handful of them that I could just use.
Boom, then I don't have to bring his then because if you guys both have your own guitars, you're more. I think the challenge would be though having somebody else's guitar because if you have your own, you know your own. The harder part is a foreign guitar you haven't worked on yet.
I think.
Boom.
If we both brought our own, we have to work on each other's.
Boom. That's way better.
Yep.
Crossfade.
Yep.
Way better. All right, so I'm gonna make this happen.
It just changes each of our perspective. It's just like, oh.
And then also when you get the guitar and return it, you can at the end you'll be like, oh well, you didn't do this or you did it perfect. Yeah. You're like, yo, Donnie you did exactly what I like, or someone.
And the reason I said we should like
dude, this is gonna be
a couple
sick.
People
yeah.
Is just do two things, but like basically just do me and the Don, and then like there's a new guy, Cody over at Guitar Center. And, like a couple.
No, once I do the first one, somebody else can take over the whole top. The what do they call it? The theme or whatever. Because I know that's gonna take a lot of editing.
There's a lot of effort.
Well, a lot of editing. Yeah. 5 cameras, and you want to make sure it's perfect because it's not an audio thing. It's a visual thing. Yeah. So it has to be the camera has to be perfect. Like
that's also what I'm saying too. Is there's also just effort into getting the angles right. I mean,
I'm not worried about I'm not worried about anything else besides just the editing.
Fair.
Yeah, the angles and everything else, color grading is all nothing to me. But it's, huh?
Fuck your vision.
No. I just is the editing perspective is it's a lot, man. Like,
no, it is.
I didn't know when I was doing the whole pod. I thought it'd be just like, for example, we're having this conversation for like almost 2 hours now.
Yeah.
That's gonna take me like 2 weeks, and I thought it'd just be post and ghost, but it's not.
No,
when you go over it, you're like, we'll cut off this dead stuff. It's not really as entertaining, and I'll take that out sometimes because sometimes it's like, it's a little mundane, and whatever, you know. It just makes it more appealing when it's like this. Well, you saw the trailers.
Yeah.
Those are see how like they're like this.
Yeah, it's just constant like.
They're very captivating. They're like, I gotta watch this. All right, so let's end it for sure. We can hang it out for this, so I can save this pod. All right, guys, this is Keagan Smith. He's he's a luthier for his own company called Keagan & Co. Guitar Repair. He has a show June 24th at the Rock at 6 p.m. I'll be there. I'm not gonna mention the bands again because you can just go to his Instagram at what's your Instagram? Is it Keagan Smith?
It's Keagan-ish.
What?
Yep.
How do you say that?
Keagan-ish.
Keagan-ish. How do you spell that?
Spell my first name Keaganish.
Okay, I'll impose your Instagram profile on here. Follow him for any guitar needs. You do more than guitars, right?
Yeah, I do guitars, basses. I can do pretty simple work on like violins, which translates to violin, viola, cello, bass, all that shit.
There you go, guys. You want to plug anything? Do you want to mention anything?
The only thing that I really want to plug is just shameless self-plug again for go get your guitars worked on by me. Come check out the show the 24th at the Rock, playing with Brace Yourself. Again, it'll be my first show in 10 years, our drummer's first show with the band.
New single, June 16th.
New single, June 16th. It'll actually be our other guitar player's birthday that night, too. Jameson's live debut for vocals.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, dude, it's
be
a
lot.
Pretty big thing for the whole band, so come see it. It's gonna be sick. AJ pointed out, I didn't mention him, but AJ's fucking rad. He's our bass player. He's holding it down all the time. Just come see us. It's gonna be cool. Come see all the other bands. They're all great. If you haven't bought tickets, you can get them at braceyourselfband.com /tour. You can only buy tickets through there. They're $20. Come have a good time.
I'll be there, guys. Thank you for listening to DysFUNctional Podcast. We out.
If you want to be fancy, hold your pinky up like this.